Welcome on in here to Wager Talk Extra. I'm your host, Dan Alexander, and a little Wednesday edition. We got a one-pack for you. Kevin Dolan joining me, talking a little soccer, talking a little boxing for you. And he's also got a great promo code for football season right around the corner. So without any further ado, let's bring him in. Talk to the Irishman himself, Kevin Dolan. Kevin, let's talk a little soccer going on Friday. You never make it easy on me here on a Wednesday edition. We want to take a look at Hammarby. That's the easy one, and I didn't even get that one. Versus Brommapjkarna. I think that probably wasn't too bad. How are we betting this one?
Close enough, Dan. Close enough. Look, Swedish soccer action on Friday between two teams who I really like because they've already made me a ton of money this season. I bet Brommapjkarna on multiple occasions already this year. I cashed a big 5% play on them last month as well, and just came off my biggest European bet of the weekend by taking Hammarby outright to beat Kalmar also. So unfortunately I have to fade one of these teams on Friday, but really looking forward to this game nonetheless.
So how are you going to be betting this game then, Kev? If you're looking forward to it, both these teams are money makers. Well, you have to pick one of them to make money unless you're taking the over or under in this one. So what's it going to be? The one that I can't pronounce or the one that I can't pronounce?
The second one you can't pronounce, yeah, Brommapjkarna. This team, the reason that I back them so regularly, they've been underrated all season, in my opinion. It was only a 1% play on them last weekend. They played second from the top hack and massive plus 1.75 road underdogs in that game. And I honestly don't know how they didn't cover it. They had more goal attempts than Hacken in that game. The score was tied 2-2 in the 91st minute as well. There were only a few minutes left in injury time. They completely fell apart, gave up 2 goals over the final 4 minutes of action to put a half loss on that one. But this team, look, their numbers remain strong. Their data remains strong. They have a better offensive XG rating this season than Hammarby on home road form splits. They have a better defensive XGA rating as well. And they're getting a quarter goal head start here at home on Friday, against the road favourites. So as much as I like Hammarby, they won that bet for me last weekend. Getting that head start on Friday with the home team in this one, Brommapjkarna. I like that value, getting plus a quarter goal in this one.
Man, Kev, you know what I'm excited for is the fact that college football and NFL is right around the corner, so I don't have to try and pronounce Brommapjkarna anymore. So I know that you're excited about it too, because a great deal that's over at your page. If people use the promo code CFB free, what are they going to be getting with that, brother?
Well, this is a promo we're going to be running for the next couple of weeks before kickoff. Like we said last week as well, number 2 college football's totals leader all time at WagerTalk. Since joining all the way back in 2018, you can get that college football season entirely free. Use the code CFB free. That knocks $300 off the CFB and NFL early bird season combo package you can find right now at my page. And also NFL, number 2 NFL profit leader since November 1st as well. So yeah, looking forward to 2 more great seasons this year.
The man does it all. Kevin Dolan, WT.buzz/KB. Let's swing it on in to your first true love, and that is the ring. You want to take a look at this Fulton and Inoue fight. So before I guess we get what the play is going to be for you, set this one up for us a little bit. What should we be expecting?
Dan, I honestly can't remember a greater 5 days in boxing, at least since I've been alive. I'm sure there's going to be some guy from the 1940s out there who's going to school me on Henry Armstrong versus whoever. But what's taking place next week? Look, Stephen Fulton versus Naoya Inoue in Japan. Then we got Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford just 5 days later. That's an unreal schedule. And obviously 2023 has been a fantastic year for boxing. Overall, as long as you don't put in Tyson Fury into that, the best are fighting the best. But in terms of this fight specifically, how can you not love it? Inoue is already a 3-division world champion. He's going up for his 4th at super bantamweight, and unlike nearly every other fighter on the planet, who moves to a new weight class, has a tune-up, tries to acclimatize the new weight class, he immediately jumps up, calls out the top guy at 122 and current unified champion Stephen Fulton, who then answers that call by agreeing to travel all the way over to Japan to defend those belts. So massive cojones on both of these guys, and really can't wait for this one next week.
So how are we going to be betting this one as far as it goes? I know you love trying to find some of that plus money potentially on a round prop or a method of victory. So do we have some plus money, or are we eating some chalk in this one?
I personally had a bit of chalk. Look, as much as of a fan of Stephen Fulton as I am, I really do struggle to see how he comes out on top in this fight next Tuesday. You know, Fulton is one of the most cerebral fighters in the sport. You know, he arguably belongs in the top 10 pound for pound list himself with what he's achieved. But that success has largely come through his technical ability in fights. He was simply too sharp for the likes of Angelo Leo, Brandon Figueroa, Danny Roman, and so on over his last, few fights. But that's not going to be the case against Inoue, in my opinion. Inoue, despite being the smaller man ahead of this fight, is Fulton's equal in terms of ring IQ, ring craft, technical ability, and so on. So I do struggle to see, especially in Japan, how Fulton puts together enough clear rounds to get a decision in this one, against the hometown fighter, even going in as the champion. The other obvious elephant in the room ahead of this one is the power dynamic between these two fighters. Inoue is legitimately one of the hardest punchers in the entire sport right now. Can take you out with one punch. Nonito Donaire, another freakish power puncher, has been the only guy to see the final bell against him across any of Inoue's last 10 fights. And that's mainly because Donaire managed to fracture Inoue's orbital bone early in that fight, broke his nose as well. And that's something Stephen Fulton just isn't capable of, in my opinion. So, Fulton can engage Inoue in a firefight in this one. If he does, he's going to be knocked out. So he's going to have to rely on using that length, using that foot speed advantage he has to try and, bank grounds from the outside in this fight. But even then, against a fighter as accurate, as predatory as Inoue is, that visual dynamic in this fight of Fulton backing up for 70-80% of this contest, I just don't see how the judges are going to reward that in Japan against the Japanese national icon in Naoya Inoue. So, despite Fulton's obvious technical ability, his skills in the ring, the odds are wide in this one for a reason. Fulton would have to be absolutely perfect to squeeze out a decision in this one, in my opinion, and I just don't see it. So I already fired in this one minus 290 a few weeks ago. The line's already shifted to around minus 350 right now at most books. Pinnacle and FanDuel, I believe, are hanging around minus 400 right now as well. So some big money has already came in on the Japanese fighter ahead of this one. I agree with it, obviously. But if you're looking for something a little bit more palatable, Inoue by decision at plus 240 looks more than generous for a method of victory proper in this one.
I love it. A little plus money from Kevin Dolan shutting down the show for us here. Make sure you use that promo code CFB free, not just soccer and boxing for our man, the Irishman. Check him out, wt.buzz/KD. And that's going to do it for a little midweek edition here of Wager Talk Extra. Thanks for tuning in, and just stay right here on Wager Talk TV. Check out Wager Talk today or The Hustle, our other Wednesday programming with Kelly in Vegas, Adam Trigger, CT Bets. It's a great show. If you like kicking back with our man Drew Martin and looking at sports betting in the wildest lens possible, it's right here only on Wager Talk TV.